Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let there be sound.
Let there be no yawning. I saw you think about yawning because your mouth did that weird thing where you're like,
Yeah.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I am sleepy. Pee-pee. I am sleepy. I'm a sleepy girl. Sorry. I'm not a sleeping and a peeping.
Wow.
That sounded wrong.
Yeah.
My bad. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't get back to sleep immediately. So then I came in here and I worked on podcast stuff for 2 hours. Getting everything, I was telling you, I got everything set up for the social media stuff for the week. And so when I did go back to bed, then it was cold. So I had to steal somebody else's blanket. And I felt so bad because he was getting up for work. Here I am hankering down back to go take a nappy nap.
Snuggling back into the nice warm bed.
I was like, and I feel like such an asshole because I'm like, what time are you supposed to be getting up to go to work? And I didn't mean it like that, but I didn't want to steal the blanket while he was still under it.
Yeah.
But the minute he left the bedroom, whoosh, it was mine. Well, it was still warm.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, he slept well, I wouldn't say sleep, but he was under the covers for 8 hours. He said he had trouble sleeping. Anyways.
Yeah, I had trouble sleeping the other night. So I ate dinner too late.
That's the worst.
And I was a little leery about it, but I was like, well, I have to take these meds. And so I was like, okay, fuck it. I'll eat these 20 chicken nuggets.
Right.
And they were good. It's been a long time since I had chicken nuggets.
I'm saying.
And well, they were on sale. They were like $6 for 20 chicken nuggets. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
My
nuggies.
friend was like, I'm getting some chicken nuggets. And I was like, okay. Oh shit. Yeah, let me get them too. And anyway, I fucking woke up at 2:00 in the morning with stomach issues, and I'm like, and then I couldn't go back to sleep, and so I just sat in my chair.
Being all pissed off about it too, probably.
Yeah. Trying to fall back asleep in my chair, but
It's not as comfy as the chair here.
yeah.
I mean, it probably is, but I like that chair that you use just because it's got it's comforting because it gives around your body, so it encompasses you.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to fall asleep in that chair.
Yeah.
So how grumpy were you at coffee with your friend?
It wasn't bad. I wasn't grumpy.
That's good. Did you keep trying to fall asleep?
No.
Oh, well, that's good too. Because sometimes you do that when you're really tired and we're out to coffee.
Yeah.
Your eyes get really heavy. You make that big sigh. I'm just like, oh, crap. Poor guy. So tired. But I get it. Yeah, I've been eating too late at night too. I've been too busy, so I don't eat. And then it's as soon as everything slows down and stops, then it's just oh crap, I haven't eaten in 16 hours. I'm famished. But I'm trying to get better about having my proteins and heaviers in the morning and then trying to just do a salad or something at night when I'm having days like that. Because I really don't need to be having to wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning rushing to the restroom.
Yeah.
Luckily I'm on the ground floor. Everything's one level. I don't got to fight with anybody on the stairs. It's just me and my partner. We don't have any room. Because I imagine you'd push a bitch down the stairs if you
Yeah. Well, also my bedroom is almost above the bathroom. So I have to walk to the opposite side of the house and then go down the stairs and then walk back towards the bathroom. And it's just the knowledge that I'm doing that sometimes is too much. It's God damn it.
I need a poop. We need a porta potty in the... You should get a camper potty.
What we need to do is have dormers put in upstairs and have a bathroom put into one of them.
That would be a brilliant idea.
A 3/4 bath. That's what we need.
Look, it could just be a line that goes straight down to your toilet with a long push broom to fucking flush.
Have a dumb waiter that's just right above the toilet.
Right.
And just drops through the ceiling into the toilet from upstairs.
I am not.
I'm down here.
Tough shit, literally.
So gross.
Yeah, it probably. Well, there are times. So my partner is a relaxed bathroom user. Mm-hmm. Everything has to be very relaxed. No urgency to it whatsoever, which is fine normally. But there's been a couple of times where I've been like, I literally am about to go pee in the tub in front of you. If you don't hurry up, you've been in there 17 minutes. You've been in there 27 minutes, like whatever.
Yeah.
And so he finally got me back on that commentary because it was, I don't know, maybe a month ago, not quite a month ago. He was just like, are you almost done there? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm about to crap my pants. And I was just like, well, it sucks, doesn't it, when you're waiting for somebody to be doing the bathroom? And he's like, I need you to hurry up, please, or I'm going to shit on your lap. I was like, whoa, that's one step too far. He came out of the bathroom one day, and I was over by the garbage can. I'm like, are you done? Are you done? And then I just ran, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing, weirdo? I'm like, I was going to take a shit in the garbage can.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
Well, with this garbage can, it's actually the perfect height, so I could if I needed to. Anyways, enough poop talk. Yeah, no, other than feeling like I need a nap and could use a little more sleep, I think I'm doing good. I mean, they said we were going to get snow today, and I don't see it happening.
Well, when I heard that, I was like, okay.
But check it out. Look,
it does occasionally happen at this time of year. But...
Yeah, I mean, when we look north, it's all gray where it was just sunny an hour ago. Now look south. It's all sunny where it was just gray. It's like our weather's like having a bad PMS day or something. I don't know what I want to do.
It's Washington. It's always like that.
Right. So have you watched anything good lately?
Let me see. I think the last time I watched something was right before the last time we talked about watching stuff.
Yeah. Otherwise, you've been kind of just sticking to the YouTube and the Yamad and Abba Preach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just can't do YouTube that much. I just can't. I mean, my partner and I did catch up on Neebs because they have a group of people doing a competition right now, but I just can't watch that much YouTube anymore.
Yeah. Well, especially like some of the YouTube channels that I watch have a tendency to follow political stuff.
Yeah, no.
And that gets fucking old fast for me. There's a reason I don't watch the fucking news.
Yeah. Well,
although Abba and Preach and Asmongold all have kind of moderate views. They're not too far to the left or the right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like me. And they tend to have funny commentary when they're talking about stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not all super serious and super fucking aggro bullshit.
Well, the news lately just sucks anyways.
Yeah, I mean...
We've got more companies laying off people because AI is becoming more predominant.
Mm-hmm.
We have got a war going on in, surprise, surprise, the Middle East again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all over oil and money. I'm sure it's over other things.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than just that. I mean, so... If you think about it, the two countries that we have recently militarily interacted with, let's put it that way, are both suppliers to our biggest competitors with oil.
Okay.
And so there's the strategic aspect of that, of let's deny China and Russia fucking oil, as much oil as possible. Right? So there's that.
Okay.
Also, those two countries that we've interacted with most recently are also two of the biggest supporters of terrorism. So there's that. However, there's also other stuff going on, right? Like, these are distractions from the other political horror shows that are unfolding with, like, the Epstein files and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're distractions from that. I mean, they serve multiple purposes, and they can serve additional ends on top of all that. So who knows exactly what's fucking going on in the heads of the leadership.
I mean, maybe it comes from a very good place. Like, maybe this presidency run is like, before I go for my grandchildren, I want to make sure terrorism stopped. Maybe that's the thought process.
It could be, but I don't think that's necessarily one of the things that I heard recently, and I was like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Is that this current presidency seems to be more concerned with their legacy or their the way they're perceived than necessarily what's best for America, let alone what's best for the world.
Sure.
Which, I don't know. There can be multiple reasons for what's happening, and there probably is. And, like, the reality of it is that the leadership of Venezuela should have been removed a long time ago, although by their own people, but that's another story.
Yeah.
And the leadership of Iran should have been removed many decades ago.
Right.
But
your little hamster's going squeak, squeak.
There's
squeak.
so many potential negative outcomes for this, for what's just happened, but there's also at least as many positive outcomes, right? So, and you can't tell which ones are going to come to fruition. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you Venezuela, I don't know. We'll see how that ends up going. You know, but as far as Iran goes, I don't see it getting any better because the leader that was just killed is replaced by his son.
Yeah.
Who's been living what his dad's been preaching his whole life. Yeah. So I don't see there being a big regime change there or whatever. I don't know. Godspeed to all our soldiers that are over there dealing with it.
Yeah. That situation is not finished. I mean, I understand. One of the things that I watched, there's a dude that I follow. His name is Andrew Bustamante.
Okay.
And he's an ex-CIA operative. And he pointed out that last year, so every year, the federal government puts out a bunch of reports on their plans and what's going on in the world and whatnot, right?
Right.
And he pointed out 3 in particular reports that they put out just last year. One of them was from the CIA, one of them was from the White House, and one of them was from the Department of Defense or whatever. And all 3 of them said that Iran wasn't one of their top priorities. And in fact, one of them specifically said, and this was before we went over there the first time and blew up a bunch of their WMD stuff, that they were nowhere near getting a WMD. So first they're telling us no WMD, then they tell us WMD, then they tell us we took care of the WMD, and now they tell us we're back with the WMD. What the fuck? Right?
Yeah, it's like one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing.
Yeah. And I mean, the Iraq situation was largely told to us that it was because we were looking for WMDs, right? And then we spent years over there and never found any. So, I mean, this is a different administration, but still, like, jerk it some more, bro.
Here's the thing that bothers me. It's almost like being in high school again. So you've got the people who are doing their due diligence. I'm doing my research and I'm writing everything down factually that I found. Boom. You got that group. And then you got the other group going, yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal because I don't want to do it. So they're done.
Yeah.
You know, sophomore year of high school for some people. Anyways, I had to throw that in there.
Not a single fucking article of homework done.
And then you've got the mean girls. Hey Veronica, like, what do you think about those Iraqi guys over there? They got WMDs. Girl, I don't know. And they're just perpetuating rumors.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of fact, a little bit of fiction. You know, every rumor has fact and fiction in it.
Yeah.
Literally, fact and fiction. Rumor I heard recently was about a store closing, which is true, but that's only part of it, because that is a fact. It is closing at that location and moving to a new location. So there's fact and fiction in every rumor. And it literally is like, we've got the smart kids, we've got the lazy kids, and we got the mean girls all sitting there doing their own thing. And the mean girls are really ramping it up, because this mean girl is going to say it is factual. And this one's going to say, no, this is factual. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's very easy in a country of any size. It's very easy to have all of your components for WMDs. And I know somebody who went and did Desert Storm, and their take on it was that, well, they did Desert Storm and Desert Shield. So we're going back a few decades.
Yeah, that's a day or two ago.
Shut up. It's like 9,000 days ago, but whatever. Kidding. Anyways, no, I'm not. I just did quick math. No, I'm not. Anyways, but the thing is that they didn't find any WMDs there at that time. But what they did find was in different locations had all the pieces to make WMDs. So it would be something that within 2 weeks there would be WMDs. That's like how close everything was. So there was components to, but not full of. Yeah. And so
it also depends upon what they're defining as WMDs, because when I was in EOD school, weapons of mass destruction included biological and chemical weapons. At least when I looked, because when I was talking about Andrew Bustamante, he showed the reports. Right. And they listed WMDs and biological and chemical weapons separately. Yeah. So, yeah. And the United States has always had a policy that if you use any of those weapons against us, we reserve the right to use any of them against you, and we'll probably choose the nukes, right? So all of them are classified as the same sort of threat level. Yeah. Which makes sense, although two of them are way less of a problem because they'll run their course and they'll be done, as opposed to the other one, which it will run its course and 1,000 years later it will almost be done. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, I obviously, there's a part of me that's the eternal optimist and wish we didn't have things like wars and fights and combat and all of that. And I say that because I've interacted, obviously, my entire customer service career, I've interacted with war veterans. And I had a grandfather who was a POW, so I mean, yeah, it's a horrible thing. And it's terrible for me to say, I don't know who to believe. I don't need a phone call from some higher power going, well, listen, I just want you to believe me because you're not my supreme leader. Sorry. My supreme leader is my moral compass. It's my mother.
It is my mommy. Hi, mommy.
Hi, mommy.
Hi, mommy. And I hate talking politics because I have people I know that are left, right, centered. I mean, there's, and so if I talk this way and say, I understand this practice, then the people who support the left a little more predominantly seem to get angry with me. And then I don't hear the end of it. Yeah. And then if I say something the opposite direction, because I feel at different times, I feel certain ways about left policies and right policies. If you look at left, right, and center, I'm slightly to the left of center. Yeah. And that's only because I do firmly, and the reason for that is not because I'm hippy dippy. It's because I firmly believe words mean something. And so when you're addressing something or somebody you may not agree with, you still want to choose those words that you do it as respectfully as possible. I don't have to stoop to your level of name calling, RBFing, dirty looking, or being like, listen, girl, I don't like you because you don't do just whatever I say. You're the wrong. You're evil. Me, I'm going to choose my words. Because, I mean, that is one thing that mommy is very firm about, is using your words. Me personally, when I was younger, I mean, using my fists worked better. But as an adult, not wanting to do jail time, I want to choose my words because so for a lot of people that puts me leaning left. But then there's people who lean left and I'm just like, I'm a firearm owner. And they're like, oh, you're totally right wing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I can't win with anybody. So I'm centered left.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like talking politics is because people don't understand I have that ability. I may not understand it, right? Mm-hmm. But I have that ability to see both sides.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, you only see one side or the other. No. That's not how this works. How this works in life is you have to be able to hear both sides and see, okay, I see this is your perception because of this. This is your perception because of this. What's our counterbalance? What's our middle ground? What's our resolution?
Yeah.
And a lot of people just can't do that and they don't understand that kind of thinking. And I'm just like, but if I was in a situation where I wholeheartedly, firmly felt a certain way, and I was in competition with somebody who felt the complete opposite, and somebody had to come in the middle and judge it and help come to a resolution, I would like it if they had the ability to look at both sides and understand why both sides saw it both ways.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's why I don't talk politics.
Yeah.
Although I did have the opportunity, and I will say this, so I did have the opportunity to have a conversation over the weekend with somebody who is a million degrees to the left.
Okay.
I mean, as left as you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And their comment was, I don't think I like the United States anymore. I don't respect my country and I don't believe it anymore.
Go live in Ethiopia.
And now, you know me, because I am very American.
Just visit Somalia.
And I said, well, that's a very strong statement to say.
Yeah.
I said, that's a really strong opinion and a strong statement to say, especially for somebody so young and you haven't even really seen the world evolving.
Yeah.
And their beliefs are that the leadership we have now,
just wait a few years.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. There's a specific word for it, like the whole presidential package we got going on right now. Not legacy. That's wrong.
Yeah. I actually said it earlier.
Yeah.
And now I can't think of it.
Right, exactly. But anyway, so the whole leadership we have right now, what's going on with this presidential run, they don't agree with them. They don't think that the president respects them or has any type of respect for their type of lifestyle or anything else. And I said, look,
there's a good chance of that.
I'm like, yeah, like, bro, like, honestly, babe, it's how it is. And I told them, I said, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do. If you feel you're being treated unfairly, if you feel that your human rights are being violated, then you stand up and you voice your opinion. You don't sit there and say, I hate my country because of this
temporary situation.
Yes. I said, and they were like, how can you see it that way? And I said, because
I've been around for more than fucking 30 minutes.
Right. And I said, well, I can tell you honestly because of this. Before your generation, transgendered people didn't have any sort of livable life. Everything was done in secret. I said, and that includes the men and women who are transgender and were transgender, who went off to war and fought for the rights of our country, who fought for our freedoms. I said, so you being mad at the presidential cabinet and their policies and what you perceive as this, I'm not in your shoes. But if you feel that your human rights are being violated, then respect the people who laid down their lives so you can have freedoms in this country. So you have, because of these people who have died, they were not all straight, they were not all gay, they were not all men, they were not all women, they were transgender soldiers who died, who hid their lives and died.
Okay.
To fight for our freedoms, then change the policies. You don't have to be Antifa. You don't have to be any of that shit. You can just say, I'm going to work with my legislature to make sure the rights are fair. I said, you can't have it to where you can do everything you want, but you can make sure it's a balanced justice system for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I thought I handled that pretty well, considering I really feel very offended when I hear anybody under the age of 40 saying, I hate America. especially when it's somebody under the age of 25 saying, I hate America and I don't respect my country. You have no idea. You just started. I just feel like
Go
I
live
just
in
started.
China and see what it's like.
Yeah, I just started. You have no idea how privileged we are compared to some countries.
Yeah.
In Africa, there are girls at 13 years old that have to have their labias cut off and get their clitorises cut off because that's their culture.
Yep.
There are other cultures in other places that gay men, gay boys, is
Stoned to death.
stoned to death. 9 years old, they become slaves. So, we may not be a perfect country, but there's enough people here trying to make it better. Mm-hmm. There are some times where I'm just like, fuck it all. I'm done. But I never say I hate my country.
Yeah.
And I was really shocked by this person because even though I know they are so far left, it's like 180.
Gone up its own butthole. Yeah.
I was
So
just
far
really
left that it's right again.
Yeah.
Basically.
I was really shocked by them saying that because it made me so incredibly offended, but so incredibly sad as well. I couldn't imagine feeling like the country I live in hates me just because of the fact that what's between my legs
Yeah.
and how I feel in a mentality.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's why I don't talk politics.
Yeah.
Because it gets me, because, like you and I can talk politics off mic because we end up laughing about it.
Yeah.
Even if it's shit that pisses us off, we end up laughing about it, but in the day and age we live in, you said Trump wasn't all wrong and he wasn't all right. You're canceled. Yeah. And then you have the opposite of it going, you said Trump was right, but not all the time. You're canceled. I mean,
Yeah,
like
so
everybody will
fucking
fucking cancel. Like it literally, like I knew it would impact us when I sent condolences to Charlie Kirk's family because it wasn't about his political leaning. It was about the fact that he was out doing what he felt was his calling in his job. Mm-hmm. And he was murdered by somebody who felt offended by him.
Yeah.
And people were cheering about that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow. So I knew we would be impacted by that, but that was only for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you guys have to forgive me that I'm just a poor white girl. I'm not smart.
I was born a poor black man.
Look, you look like you were born a poor Indian boy. You were so tan, bro. Like you have gotten
yeah.
When you were little,
Yeah.
you were like, thank you, come again. Like,
Yeah. And people looked at me with crazy eyes because I had red hair and was very tan. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Exactly.
right. It's so funny because obviously we're not going to put up pictures. Your child, but oh my God. Not now, but you were the most adorable little boy. Oh
Yes.
my God.
I was super cute at one point.
Well, I mean, you're still
when I was very young, I was very adorable.
You're still adult attractive, but oh my God, you're under 14 and younger, like the pictures of you in the train, like with your cousins, where you can just see you're just too big for it. You're just too tall for it. You're just like, fuck you bitches, I'm riding this train. But especially those pictures when you're like 6 and 7. Mm-hmm. Like we could put those up and people would be like, I want to buy that child. But anyways, so Asmongold, you mad? A little bit of politics, a little bit of what else you been watching?
I started watching a lot of like cooking stuff.
Oh yeah, you've got it really hard on for what's her name now? The carnivore gal? Is that her name?
The steak and butter gal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch her a lot more than I do now. But yeah, she made a pizza and I'm like, I want to try that.
Yeah, and you said it was made out of like egg whites?
It was like God damn it. Cottage cheese. Mozzarella and egg white powder. And then something else that's just the crust.
Right. Now the cottage cheese, did she blend it?
No, she didn't blend it. She just mixed it together.
Okay.
And then put it on like parchment paper and then baked it.
Sure.
And then put on toppings and then cooked it some more.
Right. Well, I mean, I just asked because, Liam Layton, the plant slant guy, he people are always tagging him and, dude, try this recipe. And it's all these cottage cheese recipes, and I feel horrible. But one recipe I was watching him do earlier is somebody made fake marshmallow out of the juice from garbanzo beans or some kind of beans. They took that juice and they whipped it up, I think with egg whites. And it ended up making like this marshmallow. He said it's not as firm as marshmallow, but it was still really good. I'm like, that's interesting. I'll probably have to find that video again and try it, because why waste it if you don't need to? Because there's nutritional value in that.
That makes me think of the Max Miller, the tasting history dude.
Okay.
He did gumbo a few weeks back. And he was talking about, because he always goes into like the history of different food and whatnot.
Right.
Or the history surrounding the food.
Right.
Because a lot of times he'll do stuff that's like really, really old and there's no recipes for it. It's just, these are the types of food that they probably ate because we have evidence of these things in their like in their pottery or whatever, or bones of these animals or whatever. But anyway, he was going into like the sort of history with gumbo and potential places that it originated, because it potentially originated in Africa, and there's a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I thought it was Africa, and then it had like a French variation, and then when it came to the French Quarter in Louisiana, it had yet another variation.
Yeah, so so there was one thing that, first of all, the name gumbo, there's several different potential origins. There's an African one, there's a French one.
Yeah, isn't the African one jumbo?
I don't know.
Oh, anyways, sorry.
The French one, though, it appears that it actually originated in like Haiti or something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, there's two kind of plants that give it its kind of weird texture.
Okay.
One of them is something that I hate called okra.
Oh, God.
It makes it more gelatinous.
Yeah, I've only had good okra one time.
I've never had good okra, and that's why I
well,
don't like
it was deep fried okra discs.
Ah.
So it was mostly just deep fried.
Well,
breading.
he did talk about the reason why okra ends up being snot if you don't cook it right. And it's because it produces a lot of this stringy, gloopy stuff. This it produces a mucus when it's cut.
Oh, so it's the plant world hagfish. Gotcha.
Yeah. And he's like, so you have to cook it without putting water on it first, because it will weep this stuff. And then as it starts to dry out a little bit, it will soak it back in. If you just add water, what happens is it just leaks it out, and then it just stays out.
Ugh.
And then it makes everything super gloopy.
I mean, I've had pickled okra, and it's not bad.
It's fucking snowing.
Is it? I can't see shit.
Wow. Anyway.
Well, that's because the screen's over here and that side's wet.
Yeah. But the other one he was saying was, God damn it, sarsaparilla, or what is the name of the plant? Actually, I think it's sarsaparilla.
It is sarsaparilla, because a lot of people don't. Sarsaparilla is the name of the plant, I believe, because sarsaparilla and then root beer are the same thing.
Yes, yes.
Essentially, the flavor.
Essentially, yeah. I remember when I was in basic training, and we were out doing our bivouac, and you had to dig fighting positions, and my fighting position was right next to a sarsaparilla tree, and I didn't know, because I'm not from the fucking South, right? So I'm sitting here digging, and I'm like, why does it smell like fucking root beer? This is awesome. and the drill sergeant was like, that's a sarsaparilla plant right there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember growing up, I remember there was Thomas Kemper's root beer.
Okay.
And then there was actually bottled sarsaparilla. When we'd go to Eastern Washington, I had a grandmother who was from Eastern Washington, a very small town that does not exist anymore. Well, I mean, it exists, but there's only like 3 people who live there now, called Cleveland, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess there's like 100 ghost towns in Washington State. I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah, it's like super crazy.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about it is, she's from Eastern Washington, but over there they called it root beer.
Okay, yeah.
and watermelon.
Yep.
Not watermelon, watermelon. And sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
Not sarsaparilla, sarsaparilla. And so it was Mira. I mean, it was great because
Washington.
Yeah, so it was really cool because when we went out to eat, they had Bickleton had a rodeo there, right there because Bickleton and Roy or Bickleton and Cleveland are like right near each other or whatever.
Okay.
And anyways, there was a little restaurant we went to, and they said, "What do you want to drink?" And my grandma got root beer, and I wanted root beer as well. And she said, "Okay, which one? Which one do you want, honey? You want sarsaparilla or you want Thomas Kemper?" And I was just blown away.
There's more than one?
Yeah, because what I had been exposed to in Western Washington for the most part was Thomas Kemper, which we didn't buy because it was in the glass bottle. So it was very expensive over here. And then like A&W.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
remember Dad's and Barks as well as A&W. Those were the three that I remember. Well, obviously like Western Family.
Right. Well, I don't remember Dad's and Barks before I was probably 13 years old. And when we used to go to Eastern Washington with my grandmother, we were like, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that range. Mug, so good. Do you remember the little candies, the wax candies that had like the little squirt of soda in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like those. It had some weird, funky flavor to it.
If you kept chewing the wax, yeah. But if you did what I did, which was if you pinched the top off and squeezed the liquid out and then threw some water in your mouth, it was delicious. But anyways, that's interesting. So food and steak gal. So she did this pizza.
Steak and butter gal.
Steak and butter gal. Sorry, food. See, this is why I don't talk about politics. It's because it's boring and it makes me go into super PC mode, which my partner hates. Just say what you're thinking. Oh, I'll say what I'm fucking thinking.
And then you're going to be pissed off for the next 3 days.
Yeah, and we don't want that. So, and it's not that I ignore it. It's not that I ignore what's going on in the world. It's that people who are invested in it more than me know better than me. So if their job is to figure out how to make this shit better, then my job is to figure out how to make the people I interact with their lives better.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of my rule of thumb, because nobody wants me to say, all right, everybody line up and let me get a whooping stick and beat the shit out of all you for being stupid.
Yeah.
Because, will we see a woman come into the White House in our lifetime? Probably not.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well,
we'll
not
see.
if it's the ones that they keep fucking proposing.
Oh, God. Yeah. Not, how about, especially not that Seattle mayor. Ugh. One thing I can't stand with the politicians, to be honest, they're worse than chefs.
Yes, chef.
That's right. Chefs, if they make a mistake, they'll be like, it was my intent to change it by a little bit, and some mistakes are blessings. Okay? And sometimes they turn out great. Fantastic. Politicians make mistakes, and it's your fault. Not my fault. It's your fault. I don't like that. I don't want us to be in war. I don't want us to fight over dinosaur goo. I have no desire for any of that. I don't want to pay $4.25 for a gallon of gas.
That's a myth, by the way.
That it's dinosaur goo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched Deepwater Horizon, so, again, fantastic. Remind me, my Uncle Billy was one of the inspectors who flew out to places like that. He was an oil rig inspector. Anyways, that's why I don't talk about politics, is because there's no way to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
But you come around me in a personal life, and as long as you're not harming children, animals, or other humans in bad ways, I will give you something positive about yourself. You have beautiful eyes. You have a great smile. I love your shirt. I love your hair. I will find something positive about anybody. And I had interaction with somebody, and we all know him. You don't know him yet, but we all know him as Jurassic John. And you know me, I will give you a handshake any day of the week when you're being respectful. And this guy he looks like fucking Santa Claus. And he is just the sweetest man. And I was just like, Jurassic John, it's always so good to see you. And he's just like, it's so good to see you too, Jen. And I'm just like, okay, well, I better let you. Oh shit, that's snow and hail. Anyways, he's just like, I was just like, yeah, I better get on to my next project of things I'm doing. He's just like, yeah, I better get going and doing this. And I'm like, cool. And I went to give him a handshake because I only get to see him every once in a while. And he was just like, we're like family now. And he grabs me and he gives me his big old hugs. And he's like, thank you for making me feel important. That's my job. That's what I do. Because I don't want to be one of these prissy bitches that go, oh, well, Veronica walked on the right side of the street when she should have been walking on the left side of the street for that one block. She's a bitch. This dude, let me tell you, I gotta tell these guys, Dagda is one of these people that there is a certain way that you're supposed to walk down the street.
You're supposed to walk towards traffic.
And if you're not doing it, he will sit there and say the most fucked up shit about you. The fuck's wrong with you, stupid? That's exactly how it sounds to me.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter because most of these people aren't paying attention to what's going on anyway. So even if they are walking towards traffic, they'll still get run over because they're a dumbass.
You missed it about 2 weeks ago. Somebody was on their phone and literally at this intersection here, kitty cut it. And all you heard was, Arr!
Wow. I mean, I do kitty corner across these intersections too.
They were on their phone not looking.
I actually look around and
Yeah, you always have an earbud or a Bluetooth on or whatever. This idiot had the phone up to their ear. And even when the screech happened, because that's what caught my attention, because I was already looking outside, because I was trying to watch for the mailman. And this guy was in a red jacket, so obviously you're going to see him. Mm-hmm. Red jacket, blue jeans, and like black shoes, I think. Anyways, just cut kitty corner. Didn't even pause and look, just kept walking. And the person in the car is like having a fucking full-on stroke. Rah, 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 rah. So.
Yeah, I would not blame anybody who got out the car and beat the shit out of that person. I would just stand there and watch and be like, you got what you asked for, motherfucker. Anyway.
Anyways, so yeah, that's my job. My job is not to... My job is not to talk politics because it makes me angry because there are some things that I see that I'm just like, only an idiot would not know that this is a very bad thing.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where I'm like, only an idiot would not see that this is a very good thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Well, there's so much hypocrisy. It's like so-and-so was doing this during their fucking presidency too. But you weren't crying about it then. What the fuck?
Oh, I know.
Right. So anyway.
Yeah. So politics isn't my thing, but I can be PC about it, and that's fine. But my thing is to do is human connection. That's my thing, and I love it. Now, do I connect with other people the way I do with my partner or with you or my mommy? No.
My thing is human dissection.
I know, right? And I'm the one who I'm the one who keeps you from the murder. And you're the one who keeps me from the plotting. It works out very well. I mean, we can be PC. We can, I don't know. I just know politics isn't for me because what I have learned my entire life of all of my redacted existence is that
5 days.
All 5 days of them is that in order to be in politics, you have to be willing to lie, cheat, and steal. And I'm not. And I'm simply not. And that's just a fact. You have to lie to yourself. You have to cheat yourself. You have to steal from yourself. You have to lie to yourself about why you're doing stuff you don't understand.
You have to pressure your married assistant into having sex with you and then laugh when she sets herself on fire.
Who did that?
It was a dude in Texas, one of their representatives or whatever, congressman.
Yeah. I have zero desire to lie, steal, or cheat. I just don't. Like I said, you're lying to yourself about why you're doing stuff. You're stealing time and you're cheating yourself out of life.
Yeah.
I don't have any desire to do that. So Steak and Butter Gal made this pizza. She made this pizza that you want to try making.
Yeah.
You gotta write the recipe down and follow it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about the biggest challenge is probably finding she used egg white powder. Mm-hmm. Although she did say you could use like, what's it called? Collagen powder or something also. Okay. Although that isn't a very much, it's mostly cottage cheese. And
I imagine the egg white powder or whatever is just to give it a little bit of lift and hold it together. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's also mozzarella cheese. Right. So it's like there's plenty of gloopy stuff holding it together.
And then you put stuff on it and more cheese on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so you're baking this crust separately.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just gonna have a big gloop pile that you're putting other stuff on top of. And probably because if you put the regular toppings on it when you put this liquid stuff in the pan, you have a weird. I mean, I suppose it would be kind of like a quiche or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. That's kind of what I was thinking when you were talking about it. Well, it's really funny because yesterday my partner and I were talking about next Sunday making lasagna. Because we haven't had lasagna when was the last time I gave you some? Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, we don't make it that often. And since, we don't have pasta hardly ever anymore.
Yeah.
We were talking about doing that.
Yeah, I was thinking about making like a tuna casserole. I used to, right after I got out of the Army, I used to do this a lot. I would take a packet of ramen, and usually it would either be the shrimp or the chicken one, because I'd use the flavor packet for it. But anyway, take one of those, put in a can of either cream of mushroom or cream of celery, and then a can of tuna, and then basically just put that in the microwave and heat it up, and it basically turns into fucking tuna casserole.
Yeah, you can step your game up. You could get a cheddar and broccoli can of cheddar and broccoli soup.
No, there will be no broccoli.
There's really not that much. There's just flavor mostly in it. But you could do cheddar cheese soup too. That'd be really good. Then you'd have cheesy tuna. But I like
cheesy tuna. That sounds so bad. You'd have cheesy tuna.
Okay. Maybe you had some cheesy tuna over there. Yo, cheese smells like tuna. And it feels like cheese.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
From politics to carnivore pizza, it's been a fucking day.
If that's what you call it, yeah.
Right? You guys have a good one out there.
Later.
That's why I don't talk politics.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, everybody. That's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.